Happy Sunday, ladies and gents. Yes, we are live, and it is also we're finding out who's gonna go to the Super Bowl, guys. This is stressful, to be live and see that happening in the background. So, live chat, I'm expecting you to update us as we have this show going on and on. But before we get into the show, shout out to Eagles fans. I'm not an Eagles fan, but you guys deserve it. I see Philly is really celebrating in the streets right now. Tons of videos going around, so I saw that. Stay safe, guys. I live in Montreal. We win or lose as Montreal Canadiens fans, and there's riots. I don't know why, but don't be one of those, okay? Just celebrate, enjoy the moment. Man, Bills are up. It's 22-21 as we speak. But okay, enough football, guys. Before I bring on Travis, I want to just say a few things. First, I want to say thank you. I don't know if you guys caught it on Thursday on the Shaker Show with Covrprice, but I'm now the host of the Shaker Show, and I want to give a big thank you to the team for trusting in me. You have Covrprice themselves, Matt, John, Laura, Gabe, Marty, Chris. I love them all like family. So for them to really trust me to host the show, guys, I appreciate it so much. I love you all. Lords of the Long Box will continue through the channel. We're going to have a great time. Lots of fun times ahead. But speaking of, and I want to celebrate that. I want to celebrate that with you guys, the chat, the people who show up every week. And Michael Baker shows up again to make sure the party is, the party's flowing, because you remember this giveaway that we did the last time Travis was on the show 2 weeks ago. That's right. We gave away two slabs. The first one being the free comic book day Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. And then we gave away the Ultimate Invasion right there, the number one. Now, both of them CGC 98s. Michael Baker is donating these for us to give away this Thursday on Covrprice, the Shaker Show. So if you guys are not subscribed, please subscribe. Show some love. Come hang out this Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, as we go through the Shakers, the books that sold on the secondary market, those impressive sales that our guest tonight actually writes the write-ups for. Yes, if you didn't know that, he's a busy man. Look at him. I could see him backstage. You guys don't see him, but I see him. But anyways, he's all giggly. But yes, so these are being given away this Thursday. So make sure you guys tune in to Covrprice's Shaker Show. We're going to be giving this away within the show. All right. Besides that, I had something else, but I kind of forgot it. We'll probably touch base on it within the show. But hot topics, I do want to remind you guys, the hot topics, unfortunately, there's more stuff coming out of the diamond distribution situation. So we're going to touch on that. Hot topics, that's what they are. They're hot topics. We have the market report, where we're going to go through some of the big sales that took place within the week. Some of my favorite ones, of course. FOC list by Lefteros. So shout out to Lefteros, working non-stop to put these lists together. Highly appreciate Lefteros. What I do want to say before we kick off the show, guys, look, I get messages, I see some things, etc., about my show, and I just want to say something. Each week is a new guest. Perspectives are different, opinions are different. Whatever somebody might say does not mean that I feel the same way. So don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at them. These are just open discussions, guys. Have the discussions here in the live chat. We're going to have the discussions in the comment section, whatever it is. Let's just have a good time, talk comics. And if we're going to do that, well, we need our guests. So Travis, what's going on?
What up?
Not much, man. Not much. So we were just talking football. We were talking football backstage. 22-21. It pretty tight. And now it's the end of the third. You have the game streaming, right?
Yeah.
There you go. So I expect the live updates from you as well. But hockey, on the hockey side, because guys, we're sports fans too. Yes. Colorado, big trade to the Canes. I see you're wearing your Canes cap right now. You must be excited.
I'm as excited as I can be. Although I did get on early today and saw that they changed us to the odds-on favorite to win the cup, and I hate it. I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. I mean, I want to win the cup, but I don't want to be the favorite. We're not going to win.
We have an Oilers fan in the chat.
Hey.
I know lots of you guys here in the chat, big sports fans. It's, dude, a big trade, massive trade. It was a three-way trade. Chicago got involved. Taylor Hall's in there. I feel like they got fleeced. Pacino,
They got their own third round pick back.
yeah, it's just so weird. But anyways, whatever. I'm not gonna dive into the details as to why that might have taken place. I just brought up Pacino. I don't know if you guys saw this. I was actually at a warehouse sale this week. This weekend. It was yesterday, and I bumped into Pacino. Look at this beautiful stud right there. That's right, Pacino, great guy, Packers fan, as you can see with his cap. Go Packers! Now I saw Pacino. You see the book, the warehouse sale was amazing, guys. If you're not familiar, you might want to check out right here. You're gonna see it in the detail, the description. MTL Comic Warehouse. Go follow them over on Instagram. They have warehouse sales that take place on the weekends. Sometimes every weekend, sometimes every second weekend. Wonderful books. You can get lost in there, dude. I left that place with a short box of goods that I found for like, $3 Canadian a pop, $2 American. You're looking at First Appearance of Cersei. You're looking at some awesome FF books, man. Like I was walking away and I almost felt bad. I literally went up to Harry, who is, in charge of the place. And I'm like, hey, Harry, you sure people can mix these books up, from your front, key books and throw things around? Like what's going on? And yeah, dude, he's throwing up great deals. I actually picked up the Avengers 48 slab in a 5.0. I know it's a low grade, but dude, I'm happy with this. This is when Dane Whitman becomes the new Black Knight, and it's a wonderful book. This thing's pumped up back when Eternals was the talk of town within the MCU. And man, it's crazy how quick things come down after the fact, right? Not many people picked the movie. And now that book, dude, I picked it up for like $80 Canadian. It's like 55 American. It's dirt cheap, man. And
That's
I remember
awesome.
This was up there.
Yeah, for sure. I think we talked about this weekend where it was like, yeah, if it's for the PC, I don't give a crap about what the grade is. I really don't. I mean, as long as it looks okay, like if it presents well, I'm good. I don't care. So yeah, no, that's an absolutely great get. I am typically I fall victim to FOMO way too much when it comes to that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's good job waiting that one out.
Dude, it was tough because back when the FOMO was there, when all the hype was around the book, I was like, dude, this is a great book to have in my collection. Like I want it, but I don't want to pay this premium. So waited it out. And I'm happy to have done so because now it's in my collection. It ain't going anywhere. And you know what? It's at a fair price where if ever I want to upgrade, I could upgrade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, do you have faith in Dane Whitman? That's my wife. That's my wife.
You got to stop it. Yeah.
But yeah, man, what's your thoughts on Dane Whitman, MCU? I know a lot of people, post credits of the Eternals kind of lost faith now, especially with Blade being there and not getting much confirmations when it comes to Blade, things getting postponed.
Sure.
You have faith in him?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I feel like I'm probably the easiest person to please with this kind of stuff, but for me, I'm one of those that's just like, let's just go for the ride and see where it takes us. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I don't think I could probably do a better job than any of these people. So like, let's just go for it. So
yeah, exactly.
But
anyways, like I was saying, shout out to the MTL warehouse sale. If you're not following them, please do so on Instagram. If you're in town, man, you might want to check them out. They have tons of books. Dude, when I tell you, picture a warehouse, a monstrous warehouse, long boxes lined up on tables, slabs across tables. It goes on and on. It took me 3 hours to get through maybe 12 long boxes.
That's a commitment. that's a serious commitment. Like I always go in super gung ho on those kind of things. I know one of my favorite shops around here, they always do big sales on Free Comic Book Day, and they're always like stupid sales, like kind of like what you were talking about, books that make you question, like, hey, did you mean to put this in here? Are you sure? Like this is $1. Why is this in here? And so I always go in there super gung ho, and by like an hour, I'm like, I need a break. I can't. I've got too many books. I got to start putting something back. This has gotten out of hand. But yeah.
But all right, Travis, let's get into the show. Chat, I see you here. Shout out to everybody who's here. I appreciate it, especially on such a big Sunday, because tonight we figure out who's going to the Super Bowl. So thank you guys for rocking with us. We're gonna kick it off with the FOC picks of the week selected by Lefteros. But before we do so, like I do every week, Travis, I gotta ask, are you ready?
Born ready.
I love it. Let's go. All right, guys, you heard me. FOC selections for the week of January 27th. These picks selected by our brother Lefteros from over at Covrprice. If you want, you could go read the entire article immediately after this. Tons of information. Lefteros always bringing the fire. Now, if you live in the United States and you want to order any of these books, which, by the way, disclaimer, Chia Pet, hang tight. No one's telling you to order all of these books, but if you like any of them, feel free to do so. ComicNation.us, situated in the US, of course. You get 15% off of the cover price, but you can get additional 5% off by using discount code Black Crown. And if you're within Canada, like myself, well, go visit comiclegion.ca. You get 20% off of the cover price, but if it's your first ever order on the website, use discount code ENLIST. Travis, I'm going to be honest with you. I have never ordered off of comiclegion.ca. And that is because, well, I have the opportunity to order with, Comic Legion. I do in a different way. But I swear to God, I'm waiting for that one big book this year. I'm gonna use that discount code. Thank you, Comic Legion.
Keep it in your back pocket.
Keeping it there. No, but guys, totally shifting over to comiclegion.ca. All jokes aside, wonderful website to get your FOC orders in if you're in Canada. So let's kick it off with the FOC books this week. First one being Zatanna #1, first appearance of Lady White. I love this cover, but hang tight because the story and art of this book is by Jamal Campbell. Campbell does some great work, but it doesn't end here with just the cover A. There's this insanely good cover D by David Talaski. Love this, but I am going to be honest, Travis. That Sozo Micah is fire. I love all the covers for Zatanna.
Yeah, I am so excited about this. This is actually the Hawkman. I think it's Hawkman 4 or whatever her first appearance was. It's like a super grail for me that I haven't gotten yet. So I am so pumped about this little mini series that's going on. And shout out to Jamal Campbell for doing double duty on this, because I cannot imagine what that must be like.
Yeah, dude. It's it must be difficult, to be honest. I wouldn't be able. I would not be able. I don't even know how they have the time. I look at such artists, writers, how they're across multiple titles, and like you're a musician. I was a musician, dude. I would write my songs. Man, I'd be sitting there with for 2 sentences. It would take me 3 days. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I like this.
I don't know if I like it. Yeah. Or you feel really good about it like the first couple of days, and then a couple of days later, like, this is garbage. This is the worst thing I've ever written.
Exactly. But it's incredible. We use Mark Spears as an example. The guy's pumping covers galore.
Yeah.
But Zatanna, I'm interested in this. I'm totally going to pick it up. I have a cover by, which is Sozo Micah, and the Talaski's up there. I think that's this is, dude, insane. The black scares me at all times, anytime I see an all black cover, but it just is so nice. The blue really stands out here. Little hints of red as well on this cover. I love this.
It's extremely well done. I love them both. I mean, really do. I'm beyond pumped about this.
Yeah, it's dope, man. Absolutely wicked. Now, moving on from Zatanna, sticking with DC though, we have Catwoman issue 73. This is the cover C. Cover depiction by Dan Panosian. Panosian's been incredible. I say this every week. I love this cover as well. Pretty cool. I like the little cats walking by purring. Obviously, she's breaking into a vault, doing Catwoman things, but Catwoman looks very neat on this cover. I like it. Yeah, this is a cover by.
Panosian is having himself a year. I know it's been talked about on this show. I guess now it's 2025, but it's just the last, I don't know, 12 to 15 months. It's just been Dan Panosian's time, man. He's just absolutely killing it. I love it. This is a great cover.
Yeah, it's fantastic, dude. Like you said, Panosian having a fantastic year. Yes, it's 2025, but he's just slaying it with these covers. I'm becoming more and more of a big Panosian fan. I there's artists where just like their art stands out to you no matter what, right?
Yep.
And you have artists where you can recognize their stuff right away. Like,
Right.
we'll talk Hughes, we'll talk Mark Spears, we'll talk John Boy,
JSC. Yeah.
yeah, Scott Campbell.
Yeah.
There's so many, and like Panosian is just he's up there for me. He's really, really pumping out some great stuff. I love it. Absolutely
Yeah.
love it.
This is great.
Yeah. Now this is fun.
This one.
We were just talking to last
Yeah.
Wonder Woman issue 18, the cover C. I love this depiction by him. This screams retro beyond. Look at that poofy hair right
That hair, man.
Yeah, dude.
That's at least a can and a half of hairspray, man.
Yeah, this is like every 80s metal music video right here, right?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. This is fantastic. Looks like it should be on a Rat video.
Yeah. I'm just happy like nobody from the 80s, at least not to my, recollection. We never saw Vince Neil wearing such an outfit, and especially don't want to see him wearing that now. Yeah.
Now you put the image in everybody's head.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Axl Rose. Ugh.
Oh God. Oh,
But
God.
anyway, let's not think about the musicians. Let's focus on this cover because Talaski does a fantastic job on this. I love how retro this feels. Again, another cover by, and kind of like the Zatanna cover, right? Where it's all black. Talaski doing the same thing here. And black covers always scare me. I hope my shop pulls me a minty copy. Please do. But anyway,
I love the shimmer. Like I love the shimmer off of the bracelets. It's so sick. It looks so good.
Yeah, very, very well done. Very well done. Talaski, 2 banger covers so far on the list. Now, you might enjoy this. You might. I know you're a Trekkie. You're a Trekkie, but Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, #1. This is awesome. It's the main cover, first issue of the Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker miniseries adaptation. I was at the sale yesterday, and I was going through bins, and I kept coming across multiple movie adaptation books for dirt cheap. And I picked up Batman Returns. There was
Sure.
Batman and Robin, Batman Forever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I picked up the Batman Forever. I picked up Batman Returns. There was a G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra. Not that anybody really likes that stuff, right? But it's always cool to come across. Now, this for Star Wars, I think it's a seller.
Sure. I think what was it? Mandalorian, the Mandalorian comic series dropped a couple years back with George Genti and God, I can't remember the other guy on the book there. But so yeah, it seems like the adaptations for Star Wars are always worth a pickup. Even if you're not a fan, I mean, it's at least worth a pickup just to have, just in case, because I think all in all, it's fairly safe. I love this cover. I love just about everything about it. I like the Knights of the Ren and the Knights of Ren back there in the back. It looks really cool. Yeah, this is a cool one. I'm a fan. I will probably grab this if we're being honest.
Yeah. You have Chiapet in the chat saying he loves Force Awakens and he's pumped for this. Now, you see, kind of like what happened with me, I was coming across some of these movie adaptations, and of course the Batman stuff, whether you were a fan of Batman Forever or not, for me, it's like, yeah, this is an automatic pickup, right? Because it kicks you in the nostalgic nuts. Right?
Oh yeah, it was so good. So I'll never apologize for loving those movies because I loved Batman Forever when it came out. It was so much fun, and then obviously Batman and Robin was Batman and Robin. But I still will, if it's on, man, I'm watching it. I don't care. It's so much fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it always gets interesting when Arnold Schwarzenegger takes the screen, but like otherwise, like I can tolerate most of it. Batman Forever for me was a movie growing up that I watched an endless amount of times. Like if you could ask my mother, and I promise you, when the end credits would hit, I was singing that Seal song, baby. I was all over that.
So that was the one with the Seal song that had nothing to do with the movie, right? Like,
Absolutely nothing.
right.
Even the music video had nothing to do with it, dude.
I had the cassette single with the little slide out, the little cardboard slip on it that popped out. It was just that song, and you flipped it over, and it was that song again.
It was, dude, great times, man, great times. But yeah, man, I watched that movie a million times. I just, you know, I've been watching Sonic 3, sorry, over and over and over. My kids now, we just bought it digital, and Jim Carrey, whether you liked him or not as the Riddler, I really think he goes down as one of my all-time favorite actors.
Oh,
He's
hands
so good.
down. Yeah, he's so good, and he's underrated. He's underrated because of his more goofy roles, but like his roles where he's his dramatic roles like
Yeah,
Eternal Sunshine and Spotless Mind, Truman Show is probably one of my all time favorite movies.
yeah.
He's extremely versatile and really 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 good, and yeah, he's definitely one of my all time favorites.
I love how we started with the Star Wars book and we went completely off track
Now we're
talking.
on the Truman Show.
But Dan Delatorre's in the chat saying Val Kilmer was one of the best Batmans out there. Sam Al saying that Jim Carrey is one of the greatest, and he absolutely is, man. Any role, dude. Even Liar Liar, I have watched that movie
Oh,
4 billion times.
it's all time. It's
Yep,
an all timer. If you want to laugh, it's an instant.
absolutely. But anyways, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, #1 movie adaptation. I like this. Totally worthy of a pickup. Now, up next, we have Sabretooth, The Dead Don't Talk, issue #3, the main cover. First full appearance and cover of Dragonfire. Now, I'm not entirely following anything Sabretooth related, but I appreciate Lefteros for giving us this information. Who knows how this character might play out? Sabretooth, it's funny because the character himself, again, most of his runs you can find in dollar bins, and I've not read any of this at all, to be honest. So
I read Lefteris's write up on this, and I instantly wanted to read it because I think it's set in like the early 1900s or something. And Lefty, if you're in the chat, let me know if I'm wrong on this. But I think it's set in like the early 1900s. Like I think that's what I read on his write up, and I was instantly like, okay, I'm down with this. I probably need to check this out. So yeah, this is one I haven't read yet, but now I want to.
yeah. I maybe we're sleeping on this. This is
Yeah.
something we should totally start looking into. I will start to go back and read digitally, and if I like this, I just might pick it up. But yeah, Theros in the chat saying this is a really cool book.
Yeah.
So pretty interesting. Now, another one that I keep telling you guys that I've completely overlooked, which is it's Doll Parts, A Lovesick Tale, issue #3 that makes our list. I've not read anything Lovesick whatsoever. Totally passed on it. I read issue 1, sorry, and it just wasn't for me. Virgin Connecting variant cover depiction of Domino by Luana Vecchio. The covers are stunning at all times. But again, it's something I've completely passed on. Did you read any of this?
No. It's one of those that I may have glanced at it a little bit here and there. I think Vecchio's art is fantastic, and I've one of my favorite things is that I feel like I can get lost in these covers for a while and just stare at them and find different things that I like about them completely. But no, I truly have not read any of it, but I know that there is a huge following to this series, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just need to sit down and just bust through it and see what it's all about. To be honest with you.
Yeah, the live chats right here, everyone's saying that it's amazing. David Lepage is saying that the Chaffee variant is where it's at when it comes to this issue. But here you have Alex saying that, yeah, the first series, Lovesick, was crazy too. I don't know, man. Maybe just I didn't give it a fair shot. So I definitely need to go back because I'm seeing a lot of people saying that it's absolutely wild. You even have Derek saying the same thing here in the chat. So totally need to get back and give this a second chance because it seems like it's something we're missing out on. But if you're not missing out and you're up to speed, you might want to order Doll Parts, A Lovesick Tale #3. Now, up next, Usagi Yojimbo, 10,000 Plums, #1, cover C right here. Mitsuhiro Arita, right? I think I did okay on that one.
You did good.
Stunning cover. Usagi fans are like hardcore. Yeah, man. Very hardcore. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I say that openly. I apologize, guys. but really neat cover. Looks like we're getting another run here with Usagi.
Yeah, no, this is a straight cover for me. Like I'm also I don't think I've read 4 issues of Usagi in my days of reading comic books. I do own one, but I bought it literally because it was signed by Eastman. That was it. I was like, all right, I'll get it. But other than that, I haven't read very much of it. But yeah, the fan base is very passionate about it, and for good reason. I mean, it certainly has seemed like a pretty solid series, just one that I have not dipped my toes into the water very much on. But it's very cool. This cover though is fantastic. I love the color work on this. This is really good.
Yeah, very nice. Love it. Kind of reminds me of Momoko, but forgive me, guys. Better. I'm sorry I'm going there. Look, again, Momoko has heaters, man. She's got some bangers, dude.
Yeah, she
We're gonna
does.
talk one of those Momoko books in just a minute. But yeah, man, I like this. It kind of gives me the Momoko style a little bit.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah. But anyways, let's keep it rolling because Women of Marvel, She Devils #1 is on the list this week. It is a cover selection, and it is done by Rose Besh. This cover is so badass, dude. Rose Besh, you know what she tends to really do well, man, is like aside from the actual drawings, the art, the colors, man. It's always
Yes.
the right colors that make these covers pop.
Yep, I was getting ready to say the same thing. Rose Besh's covers are insanely well done. It feels like it's everything's put together very specifically. Like there feels like there's so much thought that goes into just the overall color scheme, everything going on in the background. And this is one of my favorite covers this week, hands down.
Yeah, dude. I think maybe digital might not do it justice. I feel like this in person is probably going to be very impressive to see. Like I said, the Besh covers, when it comes to the colors, dude, they always hit right. Always hit right.
Yep,
So I
no
love
doubt.
this. Yeah. Great pick left. Now, up next, we have Mark Spears, Monsters #1, which is going to a 4th printing. A 4th printing. That's right, guys. We have an opportunity to get issue #1 now at a 4th print. Are you surprised? I'm not. I'm actually not.
I'm not. This is actually not one of my favorites of this run. It's good. They're all good. Let's be honest. But like, if you start ranking them and everything, it's not one of my absolute favorites. But it's good. And I'm not sure. Are these printings going bigger than the first couple? I heard something that the print numbers are going to go up as we go forward. I'm not sure, but either way, it's a Mark Spears cover. You can get this #1, yeah, I think that I think it's a great grab. I mean, if you want to get in on this, you certainly should. But I think if you look at all of the ones that have come from this issue, just all of the variants of this issue, this is probably not my absolute favorite, but it's still a great cover. They're all great.
It is. I agree with you. It is not my favorite, but I'm holding up David Lepage's comment because, yes, guys, dear Lord, the 1 in 20 incentive. Let's dive into this because it is the NES homage of the Friday the 13th video game. And man, this is so good. So well done. Love this. It is copy paste. Like I could already see Jason, right? Holding this up. It is so good. So good.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, this is a nostalgia buy from the get-go, and it's Mark Spears. I just think this is a killer book. I love it.
Yeah, man. You guys hear me say this several times every week, right? I'm not one of those guys that are going to chase those higher end incentives. Like 1 in 20 range, I'm comfortable with. But man, you hit me up with a video game homage as such. Mark Spears, you're really coming for my wallet, bro. Jeez, you got me. You got me with this one. And good for you because it's so well done. I love this.
Yeah.
Michael Schwartz is in the chat. Shout out to Michael Schwartz, creator of Armored, and I highly encourage everybody to read it. But he said that he had no interest in any of these variants or reprints, but this homage. Right? Right, Michael? This is amazing. Love it. Now, let's keep it rolling because I'm clearly salivating over that cover. You have Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, issue #1, the 1 in 25 incentive. This one by Matt Frank. Now, the story and art, kind of like we were talking about with Campbell at the beginning with Zatanna, is the same situation for Matt Frank because he's doing the story and art on this book. I gotta say, this cover is like pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah. It's the figure work, the side to side view of the faces and everything. There's a word and I'm stumbling for it right now, but it reminds me so much of the old, and you might remember this, but the old Final Fantasy art, like
Oh yeah,
the booklet art. It looks so similar to that, and it just feels good. Like I like this. This is really cool.
I see that. I totally see it now that you mentioned the Final Fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like what like the background kind of feels like those you know when you go to a church and it's those
All the stained
windows.
glass.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
stained glass windows.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
neat cover.
Very cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm digging this. Yeah, this is cool. I mean, anybody that's a fan of Godzilla should like this. Hey man, it's Mothra. This is killer. So
yep. Alex saying that he's getting tired of monsters
I think
already.
a
Look,
lot. I
I'll
think a
be
lot of
honest.
people feel that way. Sorry. Yeah. I think yeah.
I will be the first to say it that I am as well. Well, clearly I'm not first because Alex said it first here in the chat, so I'll be second to say third, whatever. But anyways, you get the point. I agree. But man, you give me an homage cover as such, sold. I want it.
Yep,
Totally
sure.
want it. But all right, up next, West Coast Avengers #4. My paisano, Marco Mastrazzo. Bro, I've been asking about him. I don't remember if it was over on Covrprice or it was on my show Sunday, but I was saying, you know who I'm not seeing enough of? Marco Mastrazzo, and I want to see more of him. I know he's doing a lot more exclusives, etc. But here now we have him on this 1 in 25 incentive for West Coast Avengers #4, drawing up a fantastic Spider Woman. This looks amazing. I've said it in the past. His work kind of reminds me of like Delato's, but like slightly more. I don't know if I want to say detailed because he does a lot more. I find than Delato. Delato. I don't want to get into it and then upset anybody, but you know what I'm going with, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know why I jive more with Mastrazzo's work. It just stands out. Like I wish to get original canvas paintings of Mastrazzo because those must be insane in person. He really does great work.
For sure, and I don't think there's anything wrong with making the comparison between the two because I mean, I can't tell you how many Mastrazzo covers I've looked at that have just popped up, and I didn't know who the cover artist was, and I immediately thought, oh, is that Delato? Because there is some there's some similarities between the two.
Yeah,
Um, Mastrazzo for me, I think it's so funny that you were talking about asking where he's been. There was a point there where like Mastrazzo was like up there for me with like some of my absolute favorite cover art,
yeah,
and I just hadn't seen all that much from him lately, and it was kind of like this one popped up, and I was like, Mark, oh my god, I haven't seen something from him in a minute. This is really I really like this cover. I mean, West Coast Avengers is not a book that I buy regularly. This is great. This is
yeah.
great work.
Oh, it's incredible, dude. Like I said, I still love I love Delato's work. Don't get me wrong, dude. Like it's just Mastrazzo really like stands out to me. I love his work. I'm a big fan. He's done some like even Venom covers, you know, and we've seen Delato do several Venom covers, and like when I put them side by side, the detail that Mastrazzo goes into on the Venom, it's like it's incredible, man. I love his work,
Right.
so I'm happy to see the 1 in 25 incentive here for West Coast Avengers 4 by Mastrazzo making the list. Now, X-Men issue 12. This is the 1 in 100 incentive by Malavia, and dude, this from colors to the fire in the background. Wow, this looks amazing.
This is fantastic. This might be, I think this is probably it's up there for it's competing for my favorite this week. This is so good. So good.
Yeah, dude, I absolutely love this. It's a stunning cover. Again, I've said it. I said it just before. I'm not one that's gonna go chase the 1 in 100s, but this as a virgin is absolutely gorgeous, man. I can't stress it enough. If you know, I think it's available in a trade. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's typical Marvel style to do such a thing, right? Where we have
Right.
the 1 in 100 incentive being actually a trade. But I'm actually just gonna double check right now over on Previews World, and yeah, it's available as a trade. You have the X-Men logo right now, showing at the bottom left of this cover. I think that's nice. It's a good alternative. I think I just might do that. I might pick that up. But regardless, if you have the opportunity to get the 1/100, I think as a virgin, this is stunning. Absolutely
With,
stunning.
without a doubt. Why does Phoenix always make for such good covers? Anytime Phoenix is on a cover, it always seems to pop. It's great. It looks so good.
The entire Phoenix run that's been coming out, majority of those covers have been absolute bangers, like one after the other.
I bought an art book. I literally bought an art book at a con recently, and it had Phoenix on the front of it. And I literally bought it just because of that. And it seems like every time there's a new Phoenix cover, it's like, man, it just works. It's just great on the cover. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, what was it? I think it was like even just I think it was Phoenix 7. Where you have like she's got her hands on Thanos' head, like just
Yep.
raging, and like
It's
you
so
see all the
cool,
fire.
man.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Amazing. Like great covers. Now, speaking of great covers, we had Rogue the Savage Land that just came out. Now, of course, Marvel doing Marvel things, giving us a 1 in 25 incentive of the Kara Andrews cover that was available as a first print. That's right. This was the cover A. So now in a Virgin, if you're into that, yay.
Are you into that?
I'm not.
Yeah, it's Care. I feel like it's always people are very split on some of this stuff. But I will say this: the thing I'm most excited about this is just having Tim Seeley doing the writing because he was great. He was great. Believe it or not, people will always talk about, oh my God, I'm blanking. What's the series he did with Jenny Frison? I'm absolutely blanking right now.
With Risen.
Yeah, it was Revival. Sorry. Well, at least the cover was with the cover A for issue 1 was with Frison. It was a Frison cover. It was pretty killer. But anyway, yeah. So his work on Revival was so good. And then believe it or not, I really enjoyed him when they did that offshoot random Nightwing series, but it was just Grayson. It was after he had stopped being a hero for a while and just was like a secret agent or whatever. It was such a fun series. So Tim Seeley, super good. So excited about that. This cover is, we've already seen it, so it's kind of like, okay, cool, great. It's not new, so it's cool though.
That's the issue, man, when they keep doing these things. And they do well on the secondary market. As Lefteros is saying in the chat, he doesn't like these second prints. It kills him inside that they do well on the secondary market. So, of course, he's going to cover it. But, that's what Marvel does, man. And it's just, it is what it is. Hey, look, it's still a gorgeous cover. I won't take that away from Kara Andrews. Sure. I think this looks amazing. Second printing as a virgin, stunning. But I apologize in advance, Mr. Andrews, because the show stealer for myself is for issue number 2. We had Campbell do a wonderful cover for issue number 1, but here he is now on cover number 2 with Savage Land Rogue cover depiction that he does stunningly. It is incredible. I love this. She looks so innocent, but not so innocent behind the bushes. Yummy. Yes. I will meet you there, Rogue.
Who could blame you? So I always bring this up with my buddy about J. Scott Campbell and how I am unusually picky with my JSC covers. And I don't, it's not that it's not that I dislike any of them. I love this one. This one is maybe my favorite I've seen in a long time. This one's great. I absolutely love it. I love the shadow work. I love the color. It's just, everything's great. This is perfect. This is a great cover.
Yeah. You have David Lepage in he ordered 5 copies. I don't blame him. I'm probably going to order 2, maybe 3 of this. But if you also want to get crazy, just a little bit nuts, you can get the 1 in 100 incentive, the Virgin variant. It is, again, stunning. I think this with a nice Campbell signature on this is going to look amazing. It is. Derek, I see you in the chat saying breastacular. It is the breast cover of the week. I will say that at 100%. Yeah. That's
Wow.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
At $3.99, even with the incentive, you can't go wrong. Agreed, man. You definitely can't. You got Grumpy G in the chat. Shout out to him saying, "I prefer the Adam Hughes cover for the issue." Now, back to that. Since you brought up the Adam Hughes, there's the Hughes second print available as well. So that's going to be available at cover price. It was originally a foil on the first print, but now you can pick it up as the second print in a non-foil, which I probably will pick up as well. But
Yeah. For sure.
Jesus, Scott Campbell killing it on this cover. Probably my favorite cover of the week. But although it's my favorite cover, I will talk some of my favorite reads at the moment. And Ultimate Spider-Man 14 is on FOC this week. This is the main cover. Possible revelations related to the Picotech black costume. That's right, guys. If you missed out on Ultimate Spider-Man 13, well, I'm going to bring you up to speed because this Picotech bringing the black suit, which was amazing, so well written. This entire series has been absolutely incredible. Like, there's just nothing I could say negative about it.
Don't you just love when a series comes in with hype and then delivers?
Yeah.
like it's just great. We get so much hype all the time in comics, and it always, I don't want to say always, that's not fair. It so often never delivers, and it's just nice when it does. That's all I'm gonna say. This is cool. This is a great cover, by the way, too. But Chiquetto is doing unbelievable work here, and throughout the whole series has done unbelievable work. So yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong. Jonathan Hickman's great. He deserves it. It's awesome. He deserves all the credit. I mean, they both deserve all the credit. They're doing a great job.
Well said. Couldn't agree more, man. I think they're absolutely crushing it. We know that after this Craven stuff, and now that we have the black suits in story here, we have Mysterio up and coming. If you guys saw some of the solicitations for what's up and coming, that's looking pretty interesting as well. So Ultimate Spider-Man 14 on FOC. Totally picking this up. Leftero saying that Craven stole the show last issue. In his opinion, I don't disagree with you. I think it was amazing. But yeah, he didn't steal the show when it came to the movies, unfortunately. But let's not get into that. Let's continue with the books. One of my favorite reads right now, dude. New Gods issue number 2 is now going to a second print. You have the first appearance of Karok Ator, which, dude, I can't stress it enough. I was talking about, New Gods. Sure, lots of people compare it to Eternals, right? But man, even if you are not entirely familiar with some of the New Gods stuff and the characters, issue 1's a good jumping on point.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with picking that up. We have the second print that's going to be hitting shops in a couple of weeks for the first issue. So if you guys have the opportunity to pick that up, that would be great. Because I'm telling you, man, DC is hitting a home run. Ram V bringing the fire so far. 2 issues in.
Yeah, this one, if you're not reading it, just read it. It just, whether you read it digitally, whether you pick it up, whatever. I will tell everybody that there are implications with this series. It will tie into some of the absolute stuff. It hasn't right off the bat much, but it will eventually tie into the absolute stuff. And DC is doing a mass release on the 12th of February where they're releasing late printings of every book up until now, except for the most recent releases, and the New Gods are going to also be released on that day. So you have a chance to catch up on all these series at one time. I'm not out here shilling for DC or anything. I'm just letting you guys know that February 12th is a big day for DC because they're releasing a ton of books all at one time to kind of help people get into it that have missed out early on. This is something you should add if you're into that stuff, because this is a great series on its own, but it's a great series if you're also into the absolute stuff.
Yeah. Travis is totally shilling because he does cover the Absolute universe over on his podcast, which I recommend everybody go and check out. I know he's not shilling, but he's speaking facts when it comes to New Gods. I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to February 12th, not so much for my wallet, but great covers hitting the shelves as well.
Yeah.
Great reads. I think DC is absolutely, no pun intended, doing some great things at the moment. It is a great time to be reading DC Comics, and totally going to be picking up this. Now, one I definitely recommend everyone picks up if you are already picking up New Gods, or if you plan on starting to hop on board. Because yes, Ram V is absolutely killing it. You have issue number 3. Here's the cover A. First appearance of Parzurem, Nektar, and Arbor Struta. I think I got it right. First
Yep.
cover appearance of Karok Ator. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to meeting these new characters. I know some people had the opportunity to get advanced reads of this. I don't know, Travis, if you had the opportunity as well.
Not yet.
But every single person that has had the opportunity to read this in advance has told me, please make sure to pick up issue 3 because it is a monstrous issue for new gods. And not only is there this awesome cover A, look at this cover C. This is the first appearance, of course, within the book of Nyktar, but you also have him on the cover. It is the thumbnail this week. This is such a creepy looking character. You definitely, it looks like you don't want to mess with this guy.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I was so excited when I heard they were bringing back the new gods, or not really bringing back. They never got rid of them, but they just kind of haven't been at the forefront of anything in a long time. And this was Jack Kirby's thing when he came to DC. I mean, most people know that if you're up on your history, I'm not revealing anything, but I will say that one of the really cool things, I think it was Derek Magnus mentioned that he said this is that first cover, not the cover C, but the cover A.
Cover A,
yeah, was very old school, and I thought the exact same thing because that background with the orange and the black spots and everything, it's so Kirby, it's so Jack Kirby, and it's so perfect. I am so excited. Like I can't even put it into words how excited I am about this series. And that cover C is fantastic. I mean, goodness gracious. I love the purple and how it's popping. It's absolutely perfect.
Yeah, Lefteros is saying that he thought that issue 2 was peak, but he was wrong. He read issue 3 and he has a new issue that is absolute peak. But guys, those were the FOC selections of the week by Lefteros. A great job, Lefteros. Thank you so much for the awesome lists weekly, where you can find over at covrprice.com. So if you guys want to read up on some of why he picked these books, etc., and go more into detail, you can go and check it out at covrprice.com, where you can see the FOC selections of the week by Lefteros. Don't forget to subscribe over to the YouTube channel, where you can catch myself and the gang going through the top 10 lists. And of course, the Shakers now with myself every Thursday. If you want to order any of these books and you live in the United States, go visit comicnation.us. You get 15% off of Cover Price. You get 5% additional off if you use discount code Black Crown. That's one word. And of course, if you live in Canada, comiclegion.ca, where you have 20% off of the cover price already, but get an additional 5 if it's your first order by using discount code ENLIST. And if you're enjoying the show, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and come back here next week to talk some of the FOC stuff. Now, FOC is done, Travis. We are going to get into one of my favorite segments of the show, the aftermarket stuff, the market report. Sir, you ready?
Always. Let's get it.
Booyah. Now, before we get into the market report, I just saw in the chat that apparently the Chiefs just won versus the Bills.
Gross.
Here we go again. The Chiefs in the finals, guys. I don't know how you feel about that, chat. Let me know how you feel, because, man, I was rooting for the Bills this time around. I wanted to see Bills-Eagles in the finals. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
Well, I'll just enjoy the halftime show.
Who's doing the halftime? Is it like Kendrick Lamar or some shit?
You got Kendrick Lamar, yeah, man.
At least.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Anyways, but let's get into the market report. We're here to talk comics. Of course, market report is myself highlighting some of those books that I saw sell on the secondary market. Of course, I'm checking out lists such as House of Stein, CBSI, Key Collector, Cover Price, Check and Go Collect, validating sales over on eBay, 130 points. If you have Instagram, I'm looking at what books you're selling. And most importantly, every week I have the Baker Shakers, where Michael Baker hits me up in the DMs and he's like, yo, Lando, look at this sale. Yo, look at that sale. And I'm so grateful. Thank you, Michael Baker, because we are going to talk some of those fun books. To kick it off, we've got Spawn 356, the regular cover by Mark Spears, because Spawn books are still $2.99, but no longer on the secondary market when you have Mark Spears tied to the title because of Raw Near Mint sold for 50 Canadian dollars. The book continues to hover anywhere between 30 to 40 to $50. It is all over the place, and I'm happy to finally see it here because I've been saying this for weeks, guys. I'm surprised this took so long to pop.
I'm a fuck up and buy this one of these days. I'm
No.
gonna buy it at a bad time. I know, I can just feel it. It's
Don't.
just feel the money leaving my wallet. No, it's so cool though. I know Baker's probably loving this because he's a Spawn guy. So this is awesome. No, this is an unbelievable cover. This is so good, and I'm glad to see it too because this is great. This is so good.
It is, but don't forget, guys, we have Spawn 77 that's coming out, right? So that's the year, McFarlane thought up Spawn, etc. And now we're gonna have that series, and Mark Spears is gonna be tied to that. Now, do I expect every single cover to pop? No, but the Mark Spears train is hot, guys. It is hot, and I like I said, I'm just shocked it took this long for it to pick up.
Yep. Yeah, me too. I mean, the way everything else has popped off, you would expect it to, but it's here.
Yeah. David's listening. He's paying attention. He's reading the tea leaves, as we say. David Lepage saying he bought 5 copies at $2.81 each just a few weeks ago. So 3 so far. Could you imagine? Right? That's easy.
David's got that 5-copy order on lock, man.
Yeah.
Love it.
Chip had saying it's crazy how fast it picked up. I think contrary. I think it took long. I thought this out the gate was going to pick up, but here we are, like 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later after launch. Now it's getting some love. So very interesting to see Mark Spears for Spawn 356 Raw Near Mints at 50 Canadian dollars. Thank you, Michael Baker. Now we're talking Mark Spears. Let's get the Mark Spears stuff out of the way because I know some people are starting to get fed up. This one actually made me giggle. Absolute Batman issue number 5. Apparently this is the 789 retailer exclusive cover by Mark Spears. CGC 98 already on the pre-sales at $165 US over on the secondary market. Michael Baker sending this my way. Dude, Batman. No, the face. It's the face.
He looks like Hawk. He looks like one of the Road Warriors. This is great. This is cool. That dude has never skipped leg day in his life, though.
Never. Never. So it's funny because when I saw the picture of Batman, and I had some people DMing me and they're like, what do you think about this or whatever. I immediately thought of this meme. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about. But hold on, here you go. I'm gonna share this with you guys. You know what this is? The why shouldn't right? Right? Look at the face right here. This one right here. See this one right there? Hold up. The one at the bottom. Batman has the same resting face on this cover. It is so funny. Here.
Looks like he just heard a sick breakdown. That's what it looks like.
Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. Yeah, guys, hey man, it is what it is. I'm just here reporting what I see selling on the secondary market. Is this my type of cover? Absolutely not. Like you said, looks like he definitely didn't skip leg day. Very interesting cover, but again, the hype is there. So there you have it. CGC 98, $165 US. Up next, Fantastic Four 28. I think we all saw this coming. Been talking about this for quite some time. The NetEase variant, Marvel Rivals, covered by Peach Momoko, CGC 98 selling at 172 Canadian dollars. I saw this one come in at number 1 on CBSI. I'm expecting on Tuesday when we, get together for the top 10 over on Covrprice. This is most likely going to be on the list. And it's no surprise. The Marvel Rivals covers did very well, but these 2 characters are probably the 2 most beloved characters in the video game. Galacta being, pretty much narrating the video game, and then you have Jeff Blanchard, who is just explosive right now. Explosive.
Oh, Jeff is so annoying to play against too. No, okay. I'm here all the time. This is a safe space. So I'm just gonna tell you guys, I totally totally bought this way overpriced on the day it released because there was a 0% chance I was getting it at my LCS. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to do it. So yeah, super loss for me on this one, but you know what? I'll take the L. I wanted this cover so bad. So
You know what? I don't want to do a shameless plug. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to speak honestly because Comic Legion has Monday night live sales, claim sales, for every new comic book day every week. So if you guys are not subscribed, I highly encourage you to do so. I know Michael Baker lives in the United States, but Comic Legion is a Canadian shop. Take advantage of our dollar being complete shit. Please do so because you can pick up some gems for dirt cheap if you're in the States. Now, why am I bringing up Comic Legion? At the end of their show last Monday, they actually surprised everybody. If you claimed a book at any point within the show, at the end of the show, they gave this away for free to everybody who claimed the copy. So imagine,
my God,
you got to walk away with this for free. But yeah, man, it's actually amazing. If you paid attention, like Chia Pet is saying, it was a no-brainer to pick this up over on FOC. Sequential Geek. Yeah, I don't know if it's a safe space.
Bring it on.
Comfy.
Bring it on. Bring it on. I got comfy. I don't care. Bring it on. I deserve it. This was as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is a mistake.
Yeah.
Check out. Check out. I'm out.
JSS Brooklyn bringing up, Superior Spider-Man issue 7, another book I've spoken about in the past, simply because it's the first cover appearance of Jeff the Land Shark, and that book also took a bit of time to pop, which was, pretty interesting. I thought it would have popped off quicker, but yeah, definitely a great book to pick up as well, man. Us Canadians need a win once in a while. Yeah, we'll take it. We ain't doing good in anything lately. Yeah. Comic Legion does seem like decent fellas. Majority of them, not everybody. But anyway, let's keep it rolling because Ghostbusters 14. Dude, I was on Shakers Thursday and Chris, Dr. Yo-Yo, was going through some of the books and I saw this hit a top sale. This Ghostbusters issue 14 is a 1 in 10 ratio and it's a taxi driver homage by Tristan Jones. CGC 96 sold for $699 US. Cover price daily shaker. This was so neat to see on the list because this is a well done homage cover, so good.
I mean, I didn't know this existed until literally the sake of the Shaker show when Chris brought it up. This is so good. That's a crazy price. I mean, that's a big number, but I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Now, I'm imagining there's not many of these out there because a 9.6 selling at 700.
It's got to be something scarcity. I mean, like scarcity related. I don't know, like a 1 to 10. There can't be that many for this book to get that high.
Yeah,
I would think
it got up there, man. And again, it's a very, very well done homage cover. I think this is stunning. But yeah, very impressive sale. The price tag is very up there, $700 US, $699 to be exact with you guys. But Tristan Jones absolutely crushed it. Now, Travis, I want to show you another book. Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man #1. This is the 1 in 50 ratio by Fiona Staples, and it is for his second ongoing Miles title. CGC 98 sold at $3,900 US. Again, cover price daily shaker. But it's interesting because talking about this book, 3,900 sounds like a lot, but this was well over the 4,000, the 5,000, the 6,000 mark. It was up there, dude. This went super high at one point.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how a number of the Miles books have come down. So again, this is we put the warning up before the FOC, but I'm not telling anybody how to spend their money, but if you're into Miles and you want one of these books, they're as low as they've been in a long time. They will tick back up. They will absolutely go back up. So, I think with Ultimate Fallout's fallen off a cliff, right? I mean, it's gotten way down from what it used to be. So, I love this book. I think this is fantastic. It's not one I have. It's not one that's even remotely on my radar very often, but it's one that has popped up multiple times for me, and then I absolutely love it. I've just never pulled the trigger on it. I probably never will. But yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, dude, it's again a wonderful cover. Don't get me wrong. The 1 in 50, as you said, it's come down quite a bit, right? Like compared to where it was. So a $3,900 sale again still sounds like a lot, but the highest known value for this that sold in 2022, which of course we all know some of the COVID numbers were a little ballistic, but CGC 98 at that point was selling at 7,500, man. So this has come down significantly. Like this is not a small dip.
Yeah, no, not at all. Uh, it's like I said. What was it? The Jurdovich variant for the second UF4 or whatever. It just seems like so many of these Miles books are dipping right now. Yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I love this cover. I think it's fantastic. It's if you're in that kind of buying territory, and this is something you want, this is a sign. Probably go start looking into it. You might be able to get a decent deal on it.
Yeah, I think so as well. I don't disagree with you, and I would say you might want to start looking at this if this is something that you're into. But
Right.
yeah, it's a great drop from 7,500 back in 2022. But
Right.
there you have it. So up next, we just spoke about Jeff. We need to bring this up simply because West Coast Avengers #7, which has the first appearance of Jeff the Land Shark in a CGC 98, now selling at $475 US. I was certain this was going to come down. This is the highest sale recorded to date over on Covrprice, which shout out to them because this is their daily shaker. Again, this continues to trend upwards. 475.
It's Rivals is still doing its thing. What on the top 10 last week, it was how many Rivals books were on the top 10? Numerous. I mean, it was several that were hitting the top 10. So Rivals is still gaining popularity. I think we talked about it last time I was on the show. Is fans have stuck with it even with server issues, even with the stuff out of the gate with just connectivity and everything. The fact that fans are continuing to come back, they're hitting just really, really, really high numbers of users. It's fantastic. I like the game is fun. I mean, if you haven't played it, it's a lot of fun. It's fun for anybody, honestly. Like you can set game modes to however you want. So this is just probably a testament, I think, to it's probably some spec. I mean, you would have to guess there's some spec in this, but I mean, ultimately, I think this is a testament to how popular the game is. Truly.
Yeah. Derek says he has a Jeff free home, and I totally understand him. But you were mentioning how on the top 10 list you saw several Rivals books. What was interesting to see was also the Marvel versus Capcom books making a splash on the top 10. Numerous copies were selling on the secondary market. I don't know if people were confused or they were just in the bug. It got bit by the bug.
You're thriving right now, aren't you? You're the video game cover guy. You're really having yourself a time right now. You're in your element, man.
And you know what? Although I'm in my element, I'm not one of those guys that is like profiting off this in a sense where I'm just selling multiple copies online. No, I don't do that. I pick up these covers for my own sake. I just enjoy these in my collection. So when I see them hit the list, I don't get excited because I'm making a profit. I get excited because I'm one of those guys that's like, I'm not paying premium for that. I got it.
I done been telling y'all this.
Yeah. So I get it. I get a little bit excited on that aspect. But if you guys had the opportunity to pick up multiple copies and make a profit, kudos to you because, yeah, man, it was just easy money. And I'm happy to see that. But check this out. Ghost Rider #1 back in 2016. Obviously, Robbie Reyes. TV photo variant CGC 96 hitting a top sale of $150 US. I want to circle back to this show very quickly. This show itself, I couldn't get into it. I really couldn't get into it.
I fell off. I fell off very quickly. It wasn't one that I could stick with at all. But this cover, I could stick with this cover. This is fantastic.
Badass, right?
This is great.
And all black covers, of course. I say this all the time. They always worry me. So CGC 96 at 150 US dollars, I could understand the price tag, but it's a stunning cover. It's
Yeah.
inevitable. Like you really got to pull a clean copy on such a thing. Um, take the 9/11 issue of ASM, right? That's
Yep.
completely all black. So like
Yep.
having a 9/8 of that, which is one I'm always hunting for. Like I still don't have a copy because I'm being very selective for a 9/8. But yeah, dude, now shifting to Ghost Rider, this cover is insanely good. Love this. The show was horrible. I hated it. I don't know if anybody in the chat actually liked this. I thought it was complete trash. Um, I want Robbie Reyes. I want you know, Ghost Rider in general. I don't care which one I get to make
Sure.
it splash into the MCU. I know,
Yeah.
Johnny Blaze being Johnny Blaze, right? Everybody
Right.
loves Johnny Blaze. Do you love Nicolas Cage? Johnny Blaze is the question.
Right. No, that's the truth. That's the ultimate question, right? I mean, but yeah, like I think with these covers, like you said, the all black, it always makes you cringe a little bit. But if you can get one graded at a decent price and you're fine with the grade, I mean, this is a great cover. I mean, this is fantastic. But yeah, the show was certainly less than desirable, and I think we might actually get. I think that we might actually get. Hopefully, might get Robbie Reyes here at some point. So that would be awesome. I would thoroughly enjoy that probably.
Yeah, dude, Sequential Geek just made me die of laughter with his comment in the chat saying that I think because the dialogue was so bad, basically agents of Telemundo. And he's not wrong because yeah, it was wacky, man. I just didn't enjoy it. But very impressive sales. The highest sale right now, CGC 96, 150 US dollars for this Ghost Rider #1 TV photo variant. Check this out, Frizen fans, buckle down because Age of X-Men Extremis issue #2 had a Frizen cover, which is absolutely stunning. Raw near mint of this book, 125 US dollars. This book is one I've never come across ever in the
Never
wild. I
seen it.
never see this exactly. I don't think this was printed galore. I don't think it's easy to come across. So seeing a raw near mint at 125 US dollars, I'm pretty sure this was low ordered, and it is a stunning Frizen cover.
Yeah, I don't think I don't know how many copies. I don't know how many stores were blowing out copies of Age of X-Men Extremis #2. Not saying it's not good. I didn't read it. I don't know. It might be great, but um, you know, that's got to be part of what's going on here. I mean, Frizen has a huge following, so there's probably some of that in this. 125 for a Raw is a big number, though. It really is, especially for a modern book. That's high. So yeah, no, I mean, it's hard to argue with how good the cover looks. I mean, it's fantastic, but maybe one of these things that's hard to find because I've certainly never seen it like in
Yeah,
person.
same. And it's funny because like again, this is a cover that was available for cover price $3.99. It's not an incentive. There's nothing to this. Just one of those super low ordered books, and it's a Frizen cover. You're
Right.
going back. You're going back to 2019, guys, for this one, right? Where not many. I want to say that 2019. Of course, in 2020, once the pandemic hit, a lot of people flocked into the hobby. Um, were there big Frizen fans in 2019? I don't want to say that she was a household name yet, right?
Not probably. Oh, not probably. Certainly not to the extent that she is now. I mean,
Now, exactly.
she's mega. She's super mega now. But yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, this could be just a grab. I mean, it's most certainly a grab because of the cover, and there's no doubt about it. But yeah, it it's tough. I again, like I said, I've never seen it, so it's great. It's great. It's not hard to see why anybody would grab it. It's just, 125. That's big.
Yep, it is. Oh no, I apologize. This is actually a 1 in 25 Frizen variant. I forgot to add the information.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it
okay,
is.
all
It is
right.
a 1 in
Well,
25. 1 in 25. So it's not.
Okay.
It wasn't a book that was available at $3.99. It is a 1 in 25 incentive. So totally my bad. Don't want to mislead anybody, but still very impressive
Right.
for that. And obviously, shops were not ordering 25
No.
copies of Age of X-Men. So
No.
there you
No,
go.
that's what I was getting at. So it makes even more sense now that now that it's a 1 in 25, because like you said, shops are not ordering large amounts of this book, of this series. So yeah, this is cool. This is a really cool one. This is a nice one to see on the list.
I felt so bad for a second. I totally misled the chat. That's unacceptable, guys. Like you should be egging me on in the chat right now. Like what? Throw tomatoes or something. But yes, no, I apologize. 1 in 25 incentive for the Jenny Frison variant. Age of X-Men Extremists, like I said, for issue number 2, I don't think many people were ordering that many copies. Raw Near Mint, $125 US. Cover Price Daily Shaker now. Yes, video game books. Of course, I'm going to throw some on here, guys. Tomb Raider number 1, back in 1999. Covered by Michael Turner, CGC 98. Only $99 US, which I'm pretty surprised.
Do you
Michael
have
Turner
this?
book. Sorry?
Do you have this?
Maybe.
I thought you got this one. I wasn't sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm jealous. This is great. I love Michael Turner. This is so good.
Got tomatoes in the chat. I'm so happy you guys are throwing them at me. I totally deserve that. I misled you guys. That's fucking wrong. But Tomb Raider number 1, there's so many different covers for Tomb Raider number 1, man, and they're all stunning. I love them all.
Yeah.
I'm hunting 2 more to complete all of the number 1s, but I'm on the binge of picking up all of the Tomb Raider issues. I know the later ones are going to be a little difficult, especially when Hughes hops on doing some of the covers for Tomb Raider. But Michael Turner covers, I love seeing Michael Turner's work in general, man. Whether it be Fathom, whether it be anything, Michael Turner.
Right.
We were just talking about that World War Hulk
Right.
book. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, the number 1, and it wasn't exclusive. Michael Turner did great work. I love his work. For the Tomb Raider book, I'm surprised that it's only $99 US.
That seems low.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, I have a number of video game related covers. I don't collect video game covers actively, but I buy them if I like them. This is one that I've liked for a really long time. That's why I instantly asked if you had this one, because I thought you might. Hey, hello. There it is.
There's the flex. There's the flex.
Yeah, that's great. And a 9.82. That's fantastic. But yeah, no, like $100 seems very reasonable for this. Like, I don't think I would balk at spending 100 on this one. Certainly not for a Michael Turner cover.
Yeah.
This is great. This is great. Whoever got this, man, like, props out to you. I think this is great. I like it.
Agreed with you. I totally agree with you. Love it. Tomb Raider number 1, CGC 98 by Michael Turner. Only $99 US. Now, Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty number 1. Since we're on the video game train, guys, this thing is the ultimate ghost of a book. CGI edition for this. 4 total on the census over at CGC, with 2 of those being 9.0s on the census. Now, the Metal Gear Solid part of this cover is foil, where you have the title. The other 2 grades are actually 194 and the other one being 196. There is no 98 of this book on the census. 90 selling at $490 US. Could you imagine a 98 hits?
Good God. I feel sorry for whoever's wallet if there is a 9.8 in this book ever anywhere. I mean, you always just assume there's at least one out there that that will eventually be graded and show up. But this is crazy. I didn't even know about this. Like, and the scarcity is insane. Just only 4 on the census at all. So that's pretty great. But yeah, $500 for a 9.0. That's a big book. That's a big boy book. I like that.
Yeah, it is. If you Google this over, obviously on Google, you'll come across recalledcomics.com, which gives you a little more information regarding the books. I want to show you guys. This is actually a really cool sketch variant as well for this issue, which I think is absolutely incredible, dude. Like it's pretty scary too. Here you go. I'm going to show you guys very quickly. So here's Rare Comics talking about this. At the top, you can see the rarity, but look at this sketch, dude. This is badass, man. Like, it's so good. It's Ashley Wood on this cover. I love it. Killed it. Now you can see obviously some of the interiors of the book, but here's some other covers. Now to the far left, I believe that was the cover A, if I'm not mistaken. But you could see, like, there's clear rarity behind this book. There's an entire story as to why as well. So pretty interesting to see, man. I think this is a wicked book. If you find it in the wild, man, don't even hesitate to pick this
Yeah.
up, because
This-
this is a wicked book.
That's creepy as hell. Well, also, but yeah, no, this is a great book. I love the blocky snake cover. It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's all that nostalgia. That's all I'm here for. It's so good.
Yeah. Derek saying if that cover came out today, people would be clowning it like Frank Miller. Yeah.
Right. Frank, are you even trying? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna hate on Frank Miller, but yeah, no, it's true.
Dude, Miller is an absolute legend, dude. Absolute legend. What is coming out today, we just choose to not remember. That's it. Let's just go about it that way. It's okay. Okay. But anyways, let's move on. Because Young Blood, #1, yes. One of the most dollar bin book ever. Ashcan Flip Book Edition, though, not so much. It reprints Youngblood #1 in black and white, so that's on the interiors. Now, it's funny because this Youngblood Ashcan Flip Edition has some other covers as well, the colors, sorry. But CGC 98 of the Ashcan sold for $295 US. Baker Shaker this week, so shout out to Michael Baker. I love this. Like I said, Youngblood, you can get for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
Like I said, one of the most dollar bin books, at least through my upbringing, like when I would go to shops. But I've never once come across the ash cans. Now it's funny because when I was at the warehouse sale on the weekend, which shout out to Harry and the team over there, I was going through some of the bins and we were coming across a lot of ash cans in there. And coming across such an ash can, if you see this in the wild, don't pass, because look, a CGC 98 at $295 US. There's this one which I think is considered green, although it doesn't look entirely green. But there's a blue one as well. Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I love these ash cans. I don't think I own any of these. Obviously not this one, but
Yeah.
I don't think I own any of these. And every time I see them, I think they're just so cool. Like it's like you mentioned, all that early 90s image stuff. It's pretty readily available most days. But it's still cool. I mean, it still has I think that early image stuff still really does hold a special place for anybody that was, reading comics in that era and that time period. I think everybody kind of likes that old, like you kind of dig it, even if you don't love it, you kind of dig it when you see it. You're like, oh, this is very 90s. This is 90s image. This is great. And these ash cans are so cool. So this is a cool sale. I like this a lot.
Yeah, dude, you're not wrong. It takes you back anytime you come across these, right? It takes you back. Of course, I came across these a little later on in my collecting days. But yeah, man, it's so cool to have within the collection. So if you do keep it, if you do have the opportunity to come across an ash can, don't think twice. Pick it up, man. I would totally suggest you do so.
Sure.
And Left Arrow saying keep an eye out for those high grade stands as well. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well said, sir. But all right, let's keep it rolling, because up next we have Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man #1. Tupac, All Eyes on Me. Homage. First full appearance of Teresa Parker as well within this book. CGC 98 selling at $120 US. Cover price daily shaker. I believe this was also a top sale. Now, don't let me get into the Tupac shit, because fuck, I love Tupac growing up, man. Who didn't?
Right.
All Eyes on Me, classic cover. They nailed it with the Spider-Man hip-hop homage cover right here. But something people forget about is it has the first full appearance of Teresa Parker. Teresa Parker, a very interesting story of the character. If you didn't know this, apparently Teresa Parker is Peter Parker's sister, who was adopted. So never knew about it, adopted, kept in hiding type thing. And the story didn't entirely pan out. Not too many people even cared about it, to be honest. But If you're interested, I recommend you guys go back to read up on it. But I do agree, probably one of my all-time favorite hip-hop homage covers, because it's one of my favorite albums. Machiavelli lives on.
Oh my God! Did Lefteris just say Machiavelli? This is so good. I love it. This is great. I want this. I'm going to look for this. I gotta have this. It's gonna happen. I have a affinity for hip hop covers, and this one's really. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to find it very soon. This is so good. I even love like the squinty eyes. Everything is so great.
Yep. You're gonna have to hope if you want one of these, you're gonna have to hope for a Hail Mary. Anyways, okay, I'm not gonna keep it going. I'm not gonna keep that going. I don't want to torture you guys any longer. But Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man #1, Tupac, All Eyes on Me homage, CGC 98, $120 US. I love this cover so
good.
Yep. But anyways, back to the video game world. Legend of Zelda #5. I'm not doing this on purpose, guys. It was on the Covrprice Daily Shaker. Guys, comics and video game comics are doing well, so it is.
If they pop, they pop. We just report. That's it.
Yeah, like when they stop popping next year, that's when I'll close down my channel. But anyways, this is the $1.95 price variant, which is the first print. Raw near mint, raw guys. This is not graded. Raw near mint plus, $485 US. Now, if you're wondering why I'm specifying the 195, it's because on the second print, you're going to see it doesn't say the Nintendo there at the bottom left. It's kind of like just a barcode, and the price on that is $150. So just to give you guys a little information on if you're digging in the wild and you come across them, you can differentiate. Also, I believe on the inside it'll specify if it's first or second printing. But again, neat to see a first print of this raw near mint plus at $485 US. Not a book you can come across so often, especially in a mint condition.
No, not at all. I mean, I've come across not this specific book, but I've come across some of these early Legend of Zelda books, and man, they are always beat to hell. I don't understand it. I don't know why, but I can never find a decent copy of these books. It just seems like whoever had them just was like, all right, let's go throw it against a wall. Yeah, it's so bad. I can't stand it. I cannot find a decent copy of these anywhere.
Fucking elbow drop.
It's exactly right. It's so brutal. Like every time I find it, I'm like, who the fuck owned this? This is terrible. So no, they're very hard to find in really good condition. This sale is big time. But it's big time, but it shouldn't be all that surprising if you follow any of these early Zelda Valiant books. They're expensive. They're expensive to buy. And just like I said, everyone I've ever seen or held in my hand are just beat to hell. So it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. This being a top sale, obviously I'm going to highlight it. I'm just happy to see video game books thriving on the secondary market. Nostalgia.
These are great. These are so great. I love these early Legend of Zelda books. They are so cool.
I will take this shit over the Marvel Rivals any day, guys. Any day of the week, man. Ocarina of Time was my jam. Still is my jam. I slap that thing on the 3DS every now and then. Sometimes when I'm on my couch. Sometimes when I'm on my shitter. Wherever it is, I'm going to play that game. Because Ocarina of Time was amazing, bro. And I'll even say, dude, it's better than Majora's Mask. But
really, okay.
I like it, dude. It's just it was my go-to game on N64 back in the day. So
you're not into Nightmare Zelda, because that's 100% what Majora's Mask is. The game is so creepy for a small child to be playing at the age I was. No, it's so good though. But yeah, I mean, Ocarina of Time is an ultra classic. It's so good.
It is.
There's literally nothing bad to say about that game. It's fantastic.
Exactly. Dan, I apologize. Too much info. Well, I mean, you have me there. The wife's wondering why it's taking me 30 minutes
to come pry you off that thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. I gotta beat the water temple. It takes a while.
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
I have so many jokes I want to roll with, but let's keep rolling. Very impressive sale. Raw near mint plus $485 US. Now, here we go. Your territory, of course. Superman issue 77. Now, you're probably wondering, what the hell? Why does this even matter right now? Why is it selling? for so much? Well, back in 1993, we had the DC Universe logo where you can see at the bottom left of this cover, CGC 98, $500 US. This is a top sale, but I want to highlight that that DC Universe logo is what is really causing the premium here, because those were impossible to get.
Yeah, they're very hard to get. So that Superman's that's my jam. That's what I'm all about. I love it. Collect it. That's fantastic, by the way, Lefty. But no, yeah, I love it. Superman is the bulk of my collection, but these DC Universe books are late printings, super low run. Get them. If you see them, get them. You can actually you can get lucky enough and stumble upon them, fairly affordably. They're usually pretty beat, but you can find them, and they're cool to have just based on that, just from that perspective of the ultra low print runs. A lot of them were included in multi-packs at the time. So DC would release 5 or 6 issues, put them in a multi-pack, wrapped in whatever plastic, and that's what they would do. So they're really, really cool books to have if you're a collector, certainly if you're into DC. And yeah, exactly. So like Hyper just said, yeah, Harry's Warehouse Sale, $3 bin, high grade. That's a grab. These books are really, really collectible. They're very cool. From a personal standpoint, the whole Death and Return of Superman, Funeral for a Friend, all that stuff, that's some of my all-time favorite stuff. Tracking down all those issues and everything is what really made me obsessed with collecting individual issues and runs and everything like that. And they're not overly valuable, but they're so much fun to collect, and it's a cool story, and it's great. So it's historically important. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I love this stuff. This is great. If you find these, grab them. Doesn't matter the condition, as long as it's for a good price, go ahead and get it.
Yeah, well said, man. Historical, big time, especially when it comes to Superman. But the emphasis is well said as well on your end with the CGC 98 selling at $500 because of the DC Universe logo. If you guys come across such issues, kind of like what Hyper was saying, he found the Batman and Robin Adventures issue with the DC Universe logo for $3 in the bin. So, these are things that some, shops might overlook. People selling on eBay or etc. They might overlook that. So, if you come across any of those, just pick it up, man. Pick it up, especially if it's a good deal. You got TKO Collectibles in the chat saying that he got a DC Universe Green Lantern 51 label as well. So that's amazing, man. If you guys come across them, don't sleep on them.
There's full checklists out there. Just use Google a little bit and jump on there. People really do collect these, and some of them really do hold value in high grades because the print runs are so low, and they're very interesting. So it's very, very, very cool. It's a neat little road to go down. I mean, it can get expensive if you're like a completionist and you want really great grades, but if you just want to complete the run, it's a really cool road to go down because it's very wide. There's a large variance of what issues they put this logo on, so you can really get a kind of a really neat eclectic collection from all of it.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Just to add to that, before we wrap up just the market report with you guys, there's multiple series that kind of have certain things as such. This one here being the DC Universe, but even some of those Simpsons books, with the barcodes. I don't know if you guys know about these, but example, you can see here on the photo, the barcodes, these were split into 4, and people try to collect all 4, right? Because rather than barcodes, they have barcodes. So that's just to give you an idea. And these go for premiums on the secondary market. It's not cheap. I wonder if I could even find one here on. Oh, okay. Let's see. Maybe with. Oh, I gotta verify if I'm a human. Come on. Maybe not. Maybe not.
We don't know. We don't know.
So here you go. Look, issue number 1, the barcode. You're looking at $1,131 Canadian, 788 US for a 9.6. This isn't even a 9.8, and as you can see, the barcode there, right at the bottom. So this is something that exists out there that not too many people are familiar with. So just wanted to share that with you guys. I thought it was cool, especially seeing the. Did you see me zoom into the barcode stuff? I don't think so. But anyways, if I didn't show that, properly, I apologize. But you saw basically what the barcode goes for, $788
It's
isn't
crazy.
chump change, is not chump change at all.
Yep.
Yeah, Sequential Geek talking about Miller's Red Sun Superman, Morrison's All Star, about Death of Superman.
So I don't know. I don't know how big this story is because I just don't keep up with this stuff. But anybody so they're like big in the southeast U.S. where I live. But there's a like a discount store called Ollie's, and if anybody, I don't know how far reaching Ollie's is, but they sell like comic packs. And so if you're into the DC Universe stuff, it is not uncommon to buy these like throwback comic packs that they sell in there. They're like $5 a piece. You get like 5 or 6 comics, and there's DC Universe books all strewn throughout there, man. They're in great shape, and it's crazy. They're just like a discount store, and I don't know, man. It's cool. It's like they repackage these old books from the '90s that they made too many of, and it's cool. But every now and then you'll get those DC Universe ones.
Yeah, Travis, you have a question from the chat here. It's Sequential Geek asking about that Spock painting behind you.
Hobby Lobby. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a Hobby Lobby special. So yeah. I don't know. It's killer though. When I saw it, it was an instant buy. I was like, this is a no brainer. I'm grabbing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it goes with all the other Star Trek theme stuff that nobody can see, but it's all around me. There's Star Trek stuff everywhere in here. But yeah, it's the Hobby Lobby special.
He's a big lover of the Star Trek stuff. But Travis, we have one more segment. We're gonna get into the hot topics of the week, sir, and we got some spicy ones. Are you ready?
I'm always ready for spicy.
Let's go, baby. Caliente. All right, baby. It's time for the hot topics. Now, of course, we're going to talk a little more stuff coming out of Diamond, but we got some fun things within the week. MCU related, DC related, rumors, you name it. So let's get into it. First one being Star Wars. Yes, your favorite, Travis. This is why I'm putting it. Now, Star Wars. Apparently, Ryan Gosling is in talks to star in Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. The film will be unconnected to the Skywalker saga, which I find interesting because I feel like he could totally play somebody related to the Skywalkers, right? Does he not have the look?
He certainly has the look, but I'll be honest. I'll just say this. I love Ryan Gosling. I like the idea of this, and I like it even more that it's not connected to the Skywalker saga because I enjoy that more. I don't know. This is not a hot take by any stretch. It's just, like Rogue One is my favorite Star Wars movie. And so like it has nothing to do with the Skywalkers, and it's fantastic and it's a great time. So I'm always kind of like, give me something outside of the main continuity, even though the main continuity is fine, we can have that conversation whenever, but I like the external stuff. I think it's more fun. And so bringing in a name like Ryan Gosling, who's really been great in just about anything he's been in, it's exciting. It's good for Star Wars. They need, they've gotten a lot of good press, a lot of good pub for Skeleton Crew. I think this is a cool thing, and I like the idea that they're keeping it out of Skywalker stuff, and I think it's a good call to do that.
It's funny you say that. In fact, I know it's not a hot take that Rogue One is your favorite, because I'll put it up there as well. But Chiapet mentioning Andor, and that's another one of probably my favorite Star Wars series ever on Disney Plus, because it was just something totally unrelated but so related, and it was so well done. I really enjoyed everything about it. Andor was fantastic. So now this not being tied to it, I'm okay with that. I don't disagree with Sequential Geek saying that they kind of fucked up the Skywalker saga as a whole. But if we're gonna give a hot take, a very hot take, you guys, I apologize in advance. You get a second opportunity to throw tomatoes at me, because The Phantom Menace is a movie I loved so much, dude.
Oh, so good. Throw them at both of us.
I could throw it at both of us. I could watch that 1,000 times over. I loved it. I remember being in the theater. I was relatively young when the movie dropped. I was maybe 10 years old. I remember sitting in the theater and like the pod racing. I was just like, what the hell is going on? This is so good.
So much fun. It's still so much fun. I mean, Duel of the Fates is still one of just the coolest things in Star Wars, I think. Um, I absolutely adore the Phantom Menace. It's so much fun. And they even did they did a little they did a little thing where they at Taco Bell where they had like these collectible things and you could they had like a little thing that you would put them in and you could collect all the different characters. It was like they look like Pogs actually is what they did. So for my 90s kids in there, they look like Pogs and they were so cool and I spent so much money to try to collect all of them and yeah, it was so good. But man, I loved the Phantom Menace. It's so great.
Yeah, you're up, Paul in the 619, my brother. I appreciate you so much for being here. Saying he loves Phantom Menace. Not in the beginning, but it has grown on him. So yes, you see, it stood the test of time. Stood the test of time.
Yep.
Sequential saying that kid actor should be on your show. Find Holmes that played little Anakin. I saw you saying something about him. I had no idea that apparently it took a toll on him or whatever throughout his life. But again, Phantom Menace, I enjoyed very quickly. I don't want to stay too long on the Star Wars stuff, but apparently also Natalie Portman is apparently is interested to come back and play Padme, which I'm all for that. I love Natalie Portman.
Yeah, she's so good and everything. Yeah, I'm all down. I'm down for that.
Yep. But all right, so let's shift gears, guys. I want to talk some of this here because apparently Benedict Cumberbatch says Doctor Strange will not be in Avengers Doomsday, but has a major role in Secret Wars. He's quite central to where things might go, which makes me feel more and more like we're going to see time runs out. I don't know if you get that vibe. You remember the whole Hickman stuff? Dude, again, this isn't surprising. I always wonder where the hell he went with Clea. He showed her his third eye. Wow. yeah.
Know what they're calling it nowadays? I'm sorry.
Call it third eye and hop into that portal. Yeah, man. No surprise. Like I said, the time runs out stuff. It almost feels like that's what's going to be taking place, and then afterwards, we're going to see Doctor Strange appear. This isn't much big news, but it's just something that totally made sense when I saw the news.
Yeah, I think I think it totally makes sense. I think it sucks for the viewer because I think he's consistently one of the strong points on screen. When he's on screen, it's always good. Very, 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 very clearly he's one of the strongest actors, one of the strongest characters in the entire MCU. So he demands attention when he's on screen, and so I think it sucks for the moviegoer, but you kind of get it. Like you understand why they're doing it. It's fun. It's going to be worth it, and I think it's great. Just kind of sucks because if there's anything major going on, you want him involved because he's just become so central to everything. So.
Yeah. I agree with Chia saying that, he's off with Clea, so it makes sense, kind of like we said. But the movie will have plenty of characters. It's okay to omit him if it suits the story. I do agree, though, that, Doctor Strange definitely brings a presence to the screen. Anything post Endgame, I think Doctor Strange has now pretty much, I want to say, led what's really taking place here, especially on a multiversal level. So it's again, no surprise. I'm not bummed out about this. I wouldn't make make anything of this. I saw some people in the comment sections going bananas over it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm cool with this.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's fine. Like if it's kind of like what Chia said. If it suits the story, fine. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we all kind of lose with not having him involved. But if it's better to not have him involved, that's fine because, I mean, he's great on screen. There's no doubt about it. So.
Yeah, I think we'll get answers. By the way, Derek saying yet another post-credit scene that went nowhere where he whipped out his third eye. Yeah, dude, I think that we'll get answers as we get to Secret Wars. Like I said, time runs out. I encourage everybody to read that entire arc. The Hickman stuff, you'll start to understand certain things. But let's keep it rolling with more MCU stuff because, again, I was seeing talks about this. Shout out to MCU Portal. If you're not following them on Instagram, they're a really great channel. But according to My Time to Shine H, Chris Evans will play Captain Hydra in Avengers Doomsday, which we've spoken about in the past. But as a result of Captain America's mission, this is what I find interesting: to return the Infinity Stones to their rightful places in time, the fabric of reality has been altered, causing twisted variants like Doctor Doom, Stark, and Captain Hydra to emerge. Sounds like a what if episode to them, but what do you think happen if this happens? I think that's awesome because, if you really want to go with the standoff stuff from back in the day where we actually really did see Captain America with the Hail Hydra stuff, dude, I really enjoyed that story. I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were up in arms, especially south of my border. But dude, the story played out so well. I enjoyed it. I love the Secret Empire. But yeah, I like that because everybody has wondered what has happened during the time where he was returning the stones, right? Apparently, they were
Right.
going to make a Disney Plus series at one point in time. That was the talks showing, him returning the stones. But if him returning the stones causes this, alternate reality, if now it's fabricated the reality, and you have this, I'm okay with that. I just bring him in, baby. I think this makes for a great story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes things make more sense. I know that actually, I believe the night of the announcement of Robert Downey Jr. with was going to be Doctor Doom. I believe I was actually talking to Lifteris about it, and we were kind of talking about the pros and cons of the whole thing, it was an interesting conversation because it really got me thinking of like, well, where in the heck are they going to go with this? And I think this is a good idea. I think this can work. And seeing Captain Hydra as an excuse to bring Chris Evans back, and they've already found their excuse to bring Robert Downey Jr. back, so this is great. But I do think I think this is a cool setup to what I hope we're going to get in the later movies. I'm not going to get too far into that because it's always controversial and everything. But I do hope that this is a setup to what we're all hoping to see, because I do kind of have my thoughts on RDJ as Doctor Doom and everything else.
Yeah.
So, but this is cool, and I like this. I like this Photoshop job. This is great.
Well done.
It looks cool. Yeah, I don't know who did it, but it looks great.
The suit looks great, man.
Yeah.
Although not exactly what we got within the comics, but hey, this I will take, dude. This looks great. But yeah, we shall see, man. I'm all for this, and I keep preaching it.
So what is
because
the key book? What does the key book become here? Like, is it the Hell Hydra book, or is it the one with the single panel? Like, I mean, where do you fall on this? I know that's not really what we're talking about here, but I think it's important to bring it up.
So I wish I could share my screen. I want to say it's because issue 1 he says Hail Hydra, right? But then I believe it was that issue 7 of the Sam Wilson book or something where we actually get a little more.
Yeah.
And that's clearly more of a first, in my opinion. I think it was 7. I can't remember, or 9, somewhere around there.
Right.
But I think people will flock to the issue number 1 because he literally says Hail Hydra, and that's
the Steve Rogers Captain America #1, that one.
Yeah, and I don't agree. I don't agree, by the way. But I unfortunately think that's what most people are going to flock to because they remember that. But there's so many Secret Empire covers as well that might pop off if that would be the case, because you see him in the full suit, I believe, in issue 10, where on the cover there's other covers as well. Wonderful covers too. The variants look amazing. But I would say, unfortunately, it would probably be that one. The second print is actually gotten some love when the rumor mill went off. But yeah,
I think you're probably right, because I think that panel really shook I mean, like that was a very like holy shit moment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think anybody that read that book when it happened was like, oh, okay, this is happening. Okay, that was a really huge moment. Just that one panel is iconic as far as Marvel is concerned. So I think it's very. I think it's probably not all that surprising to see that. I think Captain Hydra is one of those weird ones where it's even more weird than the Red Hulk thing, right? I think we talked about that a couple weeks ago, where what's the true first appearance of Red Hulk, blah blah blah, all that
Yeah.
stuff. I think there's even more of a conversation here where you could go a number of different ways as to what should be the big book, you know. But I just thought it was interesting to bring up. I think it's a conversation that we'll probably see play out over the next years, couple years.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is a great conversation to have, but like I said, unfortunately, there are multiple books that play factor into this. Like I said, I think it was issue 7 of the Sam Wilson,
I think you're
uh,
right.
or later on, like in the later issues, like the 15 mark, somewhere there, or 16, 17. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head, but I know that that's when we see him as like the supreme
Full on,
Hail
yeah,
Hydra, watch out type thing.
right,
But unfortunately, I still think that issue 1, like you said, it resonated with people, shocked people, and I think
right,
that's where people might throw their money. So, and they've
sure,
already started, right? When the rumor mill started, that's where people flocked to, and not knowing some of these other books. So, yeah, man, the second printing with Hail Hydra on the cover is interesting, and that's the one I'm talking about, man. There was a lot of people flocking to that. It did well in the secondary market, but anyways. Other news that we got this week was actually the first look at Millie Alcock on the set of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Now, the DCU film is set to hit theaters June 26th of 2026. James Gunn saying he's thrilled to see cameras roll at Warner Bros. Studios. Leaves then on Supergirl with Craig Gillespie at the helm and the phenomenal Millie Alcock as our Kara Zor-El. Craig brings an incredible sensibility to this story, and Millie is every inch the unique Supergirl envisioned by Tom King, Bilquis Evely, and Anna Noguera. Gueria, sorry. Um, I I know all we got was like a look of her from behind, sitting in the chair. The Supergirl logo looking a lot like the Superman logo that we're getting within the James Gunn universe, which is pretty exciting. I love, she's in her leather jacket, her hoodie, ready to go. But yeah, man, this is officially underway. Some people might be like, why are you even excited about Supergirl? Dude, there's a lot of good stuff that's gonna play out here.
right.
Don't forget, we also have Jason Momoa, who's going to be in this film as Lobo. You see what's going on that aspect. People are already going crazy over that news. But I'm excited, just as James Gunn is. Like the DC stuff, give it a chance, guys. I know a lot of people are already judging some of the on-set photos of Superman. We just recently got, I think it was today, dude, where we saw some more of the
Yeah,
Superman
we got
shots with like,
got a couple more shots. Yep.
yeah, Lex Luthor was on there. But yeah, man, you saw more Lex Luthor, Superman
Yep.
flying. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks pretty cool. But
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, man.
no, take it away. Take it away.
Yeah, I was just saying, I saw this and I got so excited. This is fantastic. I absolutely love this. I know it's easy to be kind of pessimistic, I guess, because of you expect James Gunn just to be positive about everything because he's at the helm, but it's kind of hard not to get a little bit excited when you see kind of the enthusiasm that's coming out of Warner Brothers right now. I think they feel like they really have something. I
Yeah,
think they feel like for the first time in a very long time, they can actually come up here and start throwing some punches at Marvel. And I think it's really, really, really cool. It's really exciting. And if you haven't read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, do it. It's some of Tom King's best stuff. Tom King, who is the super Batman writer, like he's written more Batman than I think than anybody ever
yeah,
all time. I'm pretty sure he's written more Batman than anybody. It's Supergirl is pretty much it's one of his absolute best. I don't know how you can not be excited. We're getting more of a peek into the DC universe in one movie and one TV show than we've had in a very long time. Creature Commandos has been really, really, really great. I'm beyond excited about Superman. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm saying that as a person who is a huge fan of Man of Steel. So you can be both, folks. Like, I know that there's a very small vocal minority of people who refuse to give this movie credit. So I think sticking with Supergirl, though, I think there's a lot to be excited about here. I think that I'm very excited about James Gunn's direction and what he's deciding to do here early on. Time will tell, but I think there's a lot to be excited about. And I think Warner Brothers, there's some juice over there right now for sure.
Yeah, and you're spot on with the excitement that they're clearly showing, as if they're, they have something in their hands. I think you're right. Everything except Guy Gardner. I don't know how I feel about that. That's something I gotta wait to see, like on the big screen, because
yeah, you're supposed to hate him. That's Guy.
Yeah, completely looks like a doofus.
Yeah.
But hey, man, they went comic accurate, so I'm excited. Like I said, it's interesting to see the Superman logo. The Supergirl logo, very similar to the Superman one in this universe. So, yeah, man, I'm pumped, guys. I'm really excited. I think it's time for DC to bring the heat, and I sure hope so. I sure hope so. But speaking heat, oh, are they ever in hot water, guys? Diamond. Oh yes, another one bites the dust. Massive Publishing ends their exclusive deal with Diamond Comics over their bankruptcy. Now, Massive Publishing is ending it because, as we said last week, Diamond Comic Distributors came out with their Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing, and they look. I went into it last week. I let you guys know, like, some of how shops feel, how many people feel when it comes to Diamond. They've held the majority of distributing comics. They literally went from, like, dude, if there's a fall from grace, if you want to Google that, like, this is it. This is like a complete fall from grace. I'm not surprised to see Massive, now pulling away from their exclusive deal that they had with Diamond. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Massive Publishing, right? If you're not, I know a lot of people tie them to Whatnot. I believe they're separate, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it's like they're tied to Whatnot, but not exactly Whatnot, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think that it's all that surprising. I'm not sure about the Whatnot ties. I'm sure somebody does know. But I do think that it's very expected at this point. And it's just a crazy fall from grace. I think we've talked about this a little bit before. They were literally at the tip top, and it has gotten away from them very, very quickly. And I'm sure there's a lot that goes into that. But yeah, not an overly surprising thing, but certainly a damning thing to happen. To just add insult to injury and pile right on top of everything else that's going on over at Diamond right now.
Yeah, man. The exclusive deals, the big distributors, more than just the big two with Marvel, DC, but like so many are pulling away. Now you have Massive pulling away. No surprises here. I don't. I know they filed for the Chapter 11 to go through a restructure. Massive themselves were saying that they don't even expect to see the amount of money that is owed to them from Diamond, and apparently it's a huge chunk of change. And it's very unfortunate to see this taking place, man. Like, I don't hope anybody goes through such things, and I'm not wishing ill harm on Diamond or anything, but
No.
at this point, it almost feels like making that sale, because there was an offer on the table for them, I believe, of $42 million, if I'm not mistaken. I think it just might be the best option realistically, because I don't think, let's just say you restructure and you get back on your feet. I think that the damage has been done. Like, there's no convincing people to confide in you anymore, or have confidence. Sorry, um, in your company, because it's been not just months of issues, it's years worth
Yeah,
of
right.
nonsense, horseshit. I've heard so many horror stories from um shops, comic shop owners, and I watch Brian McClay. He's got some people who have hopped on. Swaggle has had some people hop on, and you hear some of the stories that take place. But, like, just direct shops that I deal with, I'm mortified to hear some of these things. I was sharing some stories with you backstage that I'm not entirely going to share with everyone. My apologies. It's just some people preferred not to have these stories said, but they're very extreme. And the lack of service, the lack of professionalism, the lack of pretty much everything. I don't think people are going to be able to restore relationships. I don't think Diamond's going to have the capacity to do that,
No,
even
I
if
don't.
they could restructure.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, you never say never, because if people certainly, if there's enough goodwill there, they could certainly, try to restructure. It would be hard. I honestly, obviously we don't know everything that's going on there, but I think that I think that ultimately you would have to consider a sale of the company being the best option. It's like you said. We talked about that. You were mentioning shops that have really gone through it with Diamond as a distributor, and those sentiments are echoed all across the U.S., all across Canada, and these issues that have happened with Diamond over all these years, they have affected the bottom line for a lot of these LCSs, and the lack of support and service from Diamond at times has seriously affected the bottom line for some of these LCSs. So,
Yeah.
and we all know LCSs are doing their best, right? Like, everybody's trying their hardest to continue to stay profitable and stay above the line. It's a long road for Diamond to not only come back financially, but to rebuild some goodwill. Hard to tell what they're going to do. They'll try, but it'll be interesting to see what really happens.
Yeah, hey, that's exactly it. I do not see them being capable of mending those relationships, and getting that confidence back from some of these big companies. So I almost feel like it's probably their best option. Add a fresh face, a fresh name to this, and let's start from zero type
Yeah.
thing. Because yeah, it's brutal to see, like, Massive now stepping away. And thank you, Derek, for clearing that up in our chat, saying that Whatnot Publishing is an imprint of Massive, and it's not been around that long, right? It's been a couple of years. Um, and they're backing out of this deal and not going exclusive with them. There's other options out there, like I've said last week. Even you got Penguin, you've got Lunar, possibilities of other things opening up. Who knows? Tons of other options. So it's no surprise here to see Massive stepping away whatsoever. But guys, that's the show. That's right. We rocked it for nearly 2 hours, even on such an important football Sunday. 40 of you in the chat. So thank you so much for hanging out with myself and Travis. Travis coming up clutch, being my guest this week. It's always a great time, Travis. Bro, you're one of my favorite people to talk comics with. I'm going to put it out there. We just openly have conversations, no bullshit in between. If you hate something, you're happy to say it. If you like it, you like it. But honest conversations, great information. Kansas City moves forward. The Eagles move forward. Travis, who are you rooting for? February 9th.
Um, Rap fans. I don't know. Like, I don't want to see Kansas City win another one, man. This is the NFL. I don't need a dynasty. I need parity. I need somebody different to win every year. This is the freaking NFL. I'll take a dynasty in the NBA, but this is the NFL. We don't need dynasties.
I get you, man. I totally understand it. But don't forget, next week is also Royal Rumble. That's right. For us wrestling geeks like myself and Travis, you can bet your ass that it's 2 weekends back to back of nonstop junk food in front of the TVs with the boys, beers. Let's get it going. I'm excited. But guys, before I let you go, I just want to remind you the giveaway that's taking place this Thursday night on Covrprice. Michael Baker is donating to the show. Same donation he gave to my channel 2 weeks ago. He's giving away a slab CGC 98 of the free comic book day Spider-Man Ultimate Universe. Plus, he's also giving away the Ultimate Invasion #1 in a CGC 98. This being the second printing where you have the Maker, Spider-Man, Peter Parker on the cover. My opinion, that is the book, kind of like we've spoken about DC All In being like the book for the Absolute Universe. This one right here is a wonderful book. So Thursday night over on Covrprice's YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe, show some love. I'll be hosting the show with the crew. Of course, you got Gabe, you got Marty, you've got Dr. Yo-Yo Chris. We're talking some of those books that shook on the secondary market throughout the week, and you have an opportunity to win these 2 slabs. So come and tune in Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Travis, what do you got going on, sir?
You can catch me over at Covrprice writing for the Shaker Report every week, and you can also catch me on my YouTube channel. It's Trek Wars Comics. We'll be doing the Absolute show every week. We're probably going to pop in some other shows, some other theme shows at some point, but right now it's just the Absolute show. We're talking about the Absolute Universe, release schedules, all that good stuff. Me and my buddy Phil. And yeah, it's a good time. So give us a follow at Trek Wars Comics on YouTube and Instagram. Come hang out. It's a good time.
Hell yeah, brother. It's a great time, man. Guys, like, I know they're just hitting the ground running right now over on the YouTube channel, but I tune in. I watch it on my drive into work. Please do yourself a favor. Subscribe. They have some great conversations, especially if you're into the Absolute Universe. You're really going to enjoy some of the talks that they have. So, guys, thank you so much. Have yourselves a great week. I will also be live over on Covrprice this Tuesday going through the top 10 books of the week. Have a great week. I love you guys. I will see you again also next Sunday with a new guest. Adios. Have a good one.
Later.